All right. Hello, hello. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. How is everybody doing today? Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. Hopefully everybody is doing good. Hopefully everybody is set for a good start to the weekend. Let's fix my camera a little bit. There we go. What's going on, David? How are we doing? Shroom, hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? All right. I'm off to a rocky stream start today. I had to restart my PC because some of my files, like my Be Right Back screen and my starting soon screen and all that stuff, it couldn't find where the files were. An entire drive seems to be missing on my computer. And so I restarted my computer and it is still missing. So I have an entire drive of data, which includes like all of my music and videos and stuff that is potentially no longer accessible to me. So after stream, I get to play around with my computer and figure out where my other stuff is, um, or what happened to that drive and how I might be able to get it back. David says, I'm over at a friend's house and we're playing Slime Rancher, LOL. Very cool. I haven't played that game in forever. My son used to really get into that game. It's pretty cool. So how are we doing today, David? Having a good weekend so far, hopefully. The funny thing about having new Bally's to flip and play around with is now that I have kind of figured out where my preferences lie, um, my preference is still over almost everything else. My preference is still the community Kraken. Um, oh, hi Unc. Hi Unc. I love you. It says Shroom. Hi Shroom. I love you too. And David says, "How's the Seraph?" The Seraph is fun. The Seraph is very interesting. For me personally, the Seraph is not a mindless flipper because how I naturally flip, this doesn't. This doesn't seem to want to move in the direction naturally that my flipping usually goes. So I have to be much more intentional with what I'm doing with when I'm flipping the Seraph. Um, it just feels a little different for me. It feels high quality. It's, I mean, very clearly a well-made ballad song, but feeling the hand wise, um, there are a number of things that I struggle with. Ow. There are a number of things that I struggle with this particular Bally. For example, when I try to do my ladder practice, I can't practice ladders on the Seraph. The handles rotate in my hand when I do. Even when I try to throw in the thumb, there's just nothing I can do yet. So like ladder practice on this thing doesn't happen. I practice my ladders with other things. But other than that, it's just sometimes it feels like I'm having to, unless I'm trying to flip super flowy, it feels like I'm having to force the Bally, which I don't like doing. Lemon Flips, what's going on, sir? Says, what's up? How are you? I'm doing well. How are you? Hopefully you're off to a good start to the weekend. David says, love the beard, by the way. Thank you very much. I can't just grow a mustache. I have to, start off with the beard and then shave it back down to the mustache. So the mustache is on its way back for sure, but I do enjoy the beard from time to time. Jex says, Unc and angry don't go together. What's up, Unc? Unc is only angry at negativity. So Unc is not perfect. I will be the first to, well, my kids would probably be the first to tell you that Unc is not perfect. Unc does, in fact, get angry about things, but trying to put, one's best foot forward, I do try to go into most situations with a very open mind, trying to be very understanding. So I try to curb the anger, but we'll get into that. But yeah, negativity does make Unc angry. That is true. You're squeezing too hard, causing it to rotate, or you're not squeezing enough for ladders. Thank you for the feedback, Shroom. I'm not sure which one that would be for me personally, but I will keep that in mind. I will play around with the pressure that I'm putting on the handles when I'm trying to do the ladders. I mean, but all in all, I love this Bali. It feels great. It's super smooth, super flowy when it's flipping with me. I really enjoy it. It's just there are so many times where, I think to myself, I know that would have happened differently with a different Bali. I want to get better at flipping. I want to get better at flipping too. But so long as I enjoy flipping, that's really all. That's all. All I can ask for is enjoy doing what I'm doing, and the more I do it, the more I'll get better at it. But if I do it just to get better and I'm not focusing on the enjoyment, even if I get better, I'll just burn myself out and I won't care. That's my thought. So, I mean, I've said it before. I've been saying it for months. Unc sets the bar very low. I don't try to be a competitive flipper. I try to just have fun. And so long as I'm having fun, I'm going to keep flipping. And so long as I keep flipping, I'm going to improve. And so long as I improve, then that's progress. And I can't complain about that at all. Shroom says, just try to think about every Bali you're technically using different pressure. Wait, just try to think about every Bali you're technically using different pressure. You're throwing different momentums into them to make them do the same thing. True. Because, I mean, each Bali is different, so you kind of do have to, tweak for, I mean, which is kind of like, the experience that I had with originally flipping the Kraken trainer that Ethan had sent when it had the blade insert in it. Thing just kept flying out of my hands no matter what I did, no matter what I tried. I just wasn't flipping it the way that I needed to for that weight distribution. But as soon as I took out the weight insert, it flipped much, much, much better for me. And then as I got better with my flipping and began to better understand how to approach a neutral Bali, how to approach different weight distributions, then things got easier, but only once I realized that I can't flip every Bali the same. And that's okay. As soon as I realized that, things got fun again with the new Balis. But what I can tell you is, admittedly, I do have to force myself to flip things other than the Zyzics, because this thing is just so fun to flip, and it meets my preferences. So I don't have to, it's like, for me, flipping the Zyzics is like effortless flipping. I love it. And it sounds great. And Gibby's Zyzics has this hum that just does not go away so long as it's in movement, or momentum. So long as it's in movement, there is an ever-present hum. It's like the backtrack of the Bali itself. I absolutely love flipping this thing. It just, everything about it is awesome. But I have also very much been enjoying the the feel in the hand of the Zyzix trainer. I think I did a disservice to the trainer when I was originally kind of pitting it up against the titanium Zyzix, because I don't know that these two can be fairly compared. But if you were to compare this to another aluminum Bali, I mean, this thing feels and sounds and flips so nicely. Love it. Absolutely love it. Matthew says, anything that choker fans or does ladders good, it's for me. Got it. Ted says, here, semi-lurking. Hi, Ted. Welcome to the weekend. Hopefully you're having a good day. Geek says, Zyzix is a dream piece for me for sure. How do the handles feel to you compared to other Balis? The handles are amazing. I absolutely love the feel of these handles. They're coarse, so you have the grip that you need, but they're not so coarse that as it's like rotating and rubbing against your skin, it's going to cause any irritation or you know, so much friction that it's discomforting. Yeah, I mean, the handles are amazing. I absolutely love the handles. I don't think the trainer is meant to compare to the Zyzix. I agree. I think it's a cheaper option for people that like the look. I would agree. However, it does sound, I mean, whether it's a compare or not, it doesn't sound like the titanium Zyzix, but it does sound amazing for it being an aluminum Bali. But yeah, you're making my point exactly. I do think that I did a disservice when I was talking about these two at the same time, kind of almost as a compare, because they're not comparable. They're two completely different Balis that have a similar visual aesthetic and contain Paul's amazing ability to eke out the most beautiful sound of apparently any material the man touches. So, oops. Yeah, props to Paul on this thing. This thing is awesome. Absolutely peak. And I'm so thankful that Ted sent it over for me to play with. I do need to spend more time with this. It's just like I said, having the Zyzix here and having the Zyzix in my pocket at all times, as I had promised Gibby, makes this just so much easier for me to kind of get into a constant flow with, because I'm always flipping this thing. I love it. Let's see, and then you need to hear a Hysteria by Sicko. I need to hear a lot of Balis. I know when Paul was in stream, when I was unboxing Ted's Zyzix, I knew, or I know that Paul had noted, I think 4 different Balis that were giving off an amazing sound profile from his perspective, and I believe the Hysteria was one of those. But Ted says, I would say it's not comparable, but it's a small feeling of the Thai version for 4 times less. That's a fair description. I would not disagree with you. Oops. All right. I'm going to do some crack and flipping because it seems like every time I pick up those Balis that I'm borrowing that are on a higher price point than the Kraken, so the Opus V2 with Seraph Blade, the Zyzix, and the Stitch V1 with Kukri Blade, every time I go back to the community Kraken, it feels just perfect. I absolutely love the feel that the full channel Kraken has in the hand. It definitely is, of all of my Balis, the community Kraken is by and away my absolute favorite. Both by way of personal preference and which I just naturally flip better with. Scott, you are a very lucky man in this community. I agree. But it's the community that, is making me lucky. It's everybody who's coming, everybody who's paying attention, everybody who's stopping by and saying hi and leaving comments. And I don't know what else to say other than, thank you for all of the amazing, attention and support and love that I have been getting from the community. It's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. So yeah, thanks to all of you guys for sticking with me while I've been doing this, and watching me progress, as slow as it might be. But yes, I would agree. I am a very lucky person. And that does not go lost on me. All right. Well, we don't have a super chatty crowd today, which is totally fine. We can jump right into my talking notes if we would like. And then we can see where we go from there. Does that mean you prefer stock Kraken to speed channel now? So they both have their benefits, but for overall global flipping, my overall opinion is that, yeah, this feels a whole lot better than this. This sounds better and this fan's better, but the substance that is lost in the handles just feel less substantial. And yeah, it's hard to chat and flip. No, I'm not guilting you guys for not chatting. Keep on flipping. I'm just letting you guys know, because we are getting into a more quiet state. That is my transition point over to my talking notes, which is totally fine. Elwin says, greetings. Hello, Elwin. How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekend. Hopefully your weekend is starting off on a good foot. We are just kind of catching up, doing a little talking about the Balis that I've been flipping and the opinions that I've been having on them, my personal preferences where the Krakens are concerned. And then here in a moment, we're going to jump right into my talking notes. Let's see. So we can do that. We can get right into the talking notes. Let me pull those up. Oh, Unc, did you like my silly aquarium edit? I didn't think it was silly. I thought it was good. I really did like it. I thought it was a really, really, really mellow vibe. I really, really enjoyed it. Yes, Shroom, I very much did. Angry? Scott could never. And Ellen says, doing good. I had taken a break from flipping, been a bit under stress from med school exams, but it's all cool now. Well, I'm sorry that you've been stressed. I understand that exams can be stressful. Yeah, so I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. I'm sure that it comes with the territory of med school. Understanding that you had to take a break because of all of that. Hopefully things settle back down and you can get back into your flipping here shortly. Yeah, and 3, welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekend. Okay, so talking notes for today. So the stream was, I can't remember how I titled the stream, but basically, when do you choose anger? And what brought this kind of on the forefront of uh, my mind was something that had happened yesterday that had me go through a range of emotions. And a lot of you guys already know about it, but figured I would chat through it and unpackage it just a little bit. So, yesterday, I was doing some shopping and running around town with Gibby's Zyzix, doing some flip clips everywhere that I stopped. And one of those places that I had stopped was the grocery store. I parked in a cart corral and had my son record a clip of me flipping Gibby's Zyzix. And after we had finished and we were getting back into the car, somebody had hollered from across the parking lot, yo, is that a Bala song? And I stopped and waited for them to come over and had said, number one, props for knowing that it's called a Bala song and not calling it a butterfly knife, though that's cool if that's how you refer to it. And asked if he flipped, and he had said that he used to flip, was thinking about getting back into it. We were talking about price points and what was in the market these days by way of entry Bally's, and he had asked if he could flip my Bally, and I said yeah, absolutely. So he gave it a little flip, and then we went about our way. When I got home from my running around that evening, we had dinner, and then I went into my office and I grabbed my Lifrix Canvas V1 and hopped in the car and ran back to the grocery store, hoping that I could run into this kid and give him the Bally so that he didn't have to spend $40 for a refault or whatever, or not refault, impulse, or whatever it was that he was going to be looking at. He could try out a 3D printed Bally for free, and that would be well enough to get him flipping for the next couple of weeks. If he decides that he wants to go forward from there, he could. So I got in the car, I went out there, and I saw that he was bagging groceries. So I went over to him and asked asked when he was going to be going back out to get carts, if it was going to be going to go get carts pretty soon. And he said probably, and I said okay, cool, I got something for you outside when you come back out. And what had transpired wasn't what I had expected. About 3 minutes later, the store security guard came out to where I was waiting and asked if I had offered something to his coworker, to which I said, yeah, I had. And they told me that the kid was a minor and that I shouldn't have done that. And when I asked him to repeat myself, because I truly had momentarily gotten confused and wasn't understanding what was happening, because I was so prepared for this kid to come out and me give him the Bally and him to be happy and me to go on my way and it to be a great evening. And instead, security guard comes out asking me questions, grilling me. So I asked him, if he could repeat himself, and he had basically said that his coworker was a minor and that I needed to leave the property. So at first glance, how should I have felt about that exchange? How would you guys have felt about that exchange? Should I have been upset with the security guard for being so gruff with me? Or should I have been irritated with the kid who, clearly brought it to somebody's attention as opposed to, coming outside and getting a free Bally? What do you guys think? Bro thought you were giving the kid substance. What store was it? It was a grocery store. I thought that was your son flipping. No, that was, my son was recording me flipping. And then, that person who was flipping was literally just an employee of the store who had screamed across the parking lot, hey, is that a Bala song? And was like, hey, can I flip it? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, flip it. That would be great. Elwin says, I would have been sad. I really appreciate your kindness and initiative. Well, thank you, Elwin. I appreciate that. I was sad. I was a little perturbed. I had really psyched myself up for this experience of being able to gift something to someone, and I didn't get that. I felt like it had been robbed from me. But yeah, so when I was first told to leave the property, I was upset. But that was because I had hyped myself up so much over surprising this kid with a free Bali. But that's really just thinking about me and what I wanted. But what about the kid? You know, if you put yourself in the kid's perspective, he was just sitting there bagging groceries when a stranger that he had literally just seen in the parking lot an hour before flipping a knife mysteriously indicates that they have something for them when they go outside. Who's to say what's going on through that kid's mind? He may have been nervous about the uncertainty of what is going on. He may have been worried about getting in trouble at work if somebody's trying to give him something while he's on the clock. Could have been thinking about getting in trouble with his parents or whatever. So at the end of the day, what I assume happened was this kid told their manager, hey, this just happened, how should I react? Which I know that he did exactly what I would want my kids to do in that circumstance. So, not angry with the kid. I understand where the kid's coming from. So what about the security guard? He has a single job, and that is to protect. I also consider myself a protector, so I can understand and I can appreciate that. Could he have approached me with a tad more passive demeanor, with a bit more interest in what I was trying to do there, what was going on? Sure, he could have. But would that have aided in his purpose to protect the patrons and the staff of the store? No, not at all. All of that would have done was made me feel better about the situation, but all he knew was that I was a stranger who walked up to a kid at his store bagging groceries, saying only a few words to him, then walking outside and waiting by the front door. So I can't even imagine what was going through the security officer or the security guard's mind either. So when you work as a security guard in a location that feels that additional security is needed, it's not advantageous for them to assume that there's a misunderstanding and that you're trying to do something good, as that would be an advantage for a bad actor. Instead, it is most beneficial for a security guard to assume the worst and be very cautious in that regard. So can I be angry at the security officer or a security guard? No, not really, as I think about it. Really, I mean, at the end of the day, the kid is out of Bali that he didn't already have. So there's no real loss there. The security guard did their job in the way that they felt this situation called for. And I'm glad that they're there to watch over the patrons of the store and the staff of the store. So no real loss there. I personally didn't get in trouble. I was asked to leave the property, but I had already done all of my shopping. I wasn't banned from the store, which is good. And I learned from the experience to always have a 3D printed balisong on my person in case I need to randomly gift it to someone who's interested in flipping. The only real loss, so far as I can see, is my own. I lost the ability to say that I gave somebody a Bali and that they enjoyed it. But those chances are going to come, and when they do, I'll feel good about it. But I tried. I got home, I grabbed a Bali, I went back, I tried to give it to the kid. It didn't work out, but I can feel good about that too. I gave it my best effort, and and I'm okay with that. Sometimes things happen like that, where you initially feel angry about something, like you were dealt a bad hand, or that somebody had stacked the deck against you. But when you take a step back and consider where people are coming from, it's easier to see the parts of the story that weren't about you. And that helps better understand the true narrative of what's going on. You know, people are worth attempting to understand. So that's how I try to combat anger when it surfaces in me, is when I realize it and I am in a mindset to pause, to take a step back. You know, I ask myself, okay, I know I'm angry. Because yesterday I was angry. I was angry that I didn't get to give this Bali to the kid because I had really psyched myself up to do so. But that's about me. And at the end of the day, it wasn't about me. It was about gifting a Bali to this kid. I didn't get that opportunity. And so, you know, that's a bummer. But it's nothing to be angry about. Everybody did what everybody felt was the best course of action in the situation. The kid looked out for the kid and did what was right by way of their employment. The security guard did what was right by the kid and the employees of the store by getting rid of someone who was acting shady. With the best of intent, but I was acting shady. I was mysterious. I didn't tell the kid, come outside, I have a free Bala song for you. I wanted to surprise him. Lesson learned. You know, so really, I'm the only one who lost anything, and that was just my pride. I lost the prideful ability to say, hey, look what I did. And that's not really what I'm doing it for. So let's catch up on chat. Don't forget to like the stream, y'all. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. IDK says, what's up, twin? What's going on, IDK? Welcome to the weekend. How are we doing today? 3 says, maybe you could have been more specific about what you were trying to gift. True. I think that is the case. Originally, I was actually going to go up to the customer service desk and explain the situation to them and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. You know, is this okay? But the service desk was closed because the store was so busy. Everybody was working lanes. So I did the best thinking that I could at the time, which was just go to the kid and say, hey, I got something for you. Hindsight's 2020. I could have approached it differently, and I probably should have. Shroom says, people are worth trying to understand. Unc 2026. I'm sure that there are going to be far more interesting quotes throughout 2026, but that is I approve that one. That's a good one. People are worth trying to understand. All people are worth trying to understand. That doesn't mean that you're going to like them, but so long as you can try to understand, you can handle situations a whole lot better. You can always feel better about the initiative you took to understand the situation instead of getting angry. You can be happy that you at least tried to give someone a gift. Exactly. I have a lot to learn from you. Okay, I don't know about that. You are a OG supporter in the community, far more so than I have ever been. So while I appreciate you thinking that there's a lot that you could learn from me, I don't know. Shroom says free puppies. Free puppies is scary because nobody would. Well, I'm sure some people are probably cautious enough to turn down a free puppy. I wouldn't be. If I had an opportunity for a free puppy, I'd bring it home and then get in trouble for it. There's too many puppies. There are not. Well, Bob Barker would agree. How to kidnap a flipper. Free belly, come outside. True. Yeah, true. I would fall for it 100% of the time. Same. If I got kidnapped but I got a free belly, I don't think I would complain. Real. True. So yeah, that's my talking notes today. That's really what I wanted to talk through with everybody today, was just kind of yesterday's situation, being what it was, and me knowing why or how I was initially not acting, because I acted. Stitch says, "Why are you angry?" And Ted says, "And it's gone now." I'm not angry. Yesterday I had a tinge of anger when I was trying to go to the grocery store to gift the Lifrix canvas to an employee there who had taken interest in my flipping and had flipping experience himself, but had fallen out of the hobby. And later that evening, when I got home, I grabbed the canvas and went up to the store to give it to him. And when attempting to do so, security told me that I had to leave. So my initial feeling was confusion and anger and a loss of opportunity. But as I thought more about it, that anger dissipated into understanding because the kid had no idea what I was there for, what I was trying to get him outside for, and what I was supposedly going to be giving him. The security guard's job is to protect the patrons and the employees of the store, and I gave the impression of a shady character who was being very vague about a gift for a child. Everybody did the right thing. I mean, it just didn't work out. Did you tell him about your Instagram or YouTube? No, I didn't. I thought about it, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good at self-promotion. I always feel weird about about it. So no, I didn't. I might have when I gave him the Lifrix. I might have figured out a way to bring that up, but no, I didn't mention it. Oh man, I love this stitch. Fingers locked up. All right. Well, those are the talking notes for the day. I am going to, well, I would say I'm going to throw up my be right back sign, but my be right back sign is lost to me at the moment. So I'm going to throw up a ambiguous black screen for a moment. I'm going to drop my desk down. I'm going to bring my chair around. I'm going to get a little bit more comfortable, and we'll continue the stream. Just one moment. All right, I am back. Ted says, speaking of Stitch, I just got the first Stitch R proto. Ooh, interesting. How does it flip? How do you like it? What can you share? What can you not? What was I thinking that I was going to say? I'm loving this Bali, but with this being my first titanium Bali, I'm really uh, toying around with what I could do by way of anodization. And that's an exciting thought. It's not anything that I'm going to be looking into until after Blade Show, but at some point here, I am most probably going to be getting this thing anode. Just because I can. I just got my Kraken and Madco clone. Excellent. How do they flip? Which one do you prefer? Let's see, did I miss anything? I think 3 had said something that I hadn't noted, but I don't remember what it was. Did the kid complain or somebody else complain? I don't know. I'm guessing the kid just like I'm either this security officer saw me, walk up to the kid and say something and then walk outside and literally post up, or the kid sent something to, one of the managers and the manager talked to the security guard and the security guard came out to me. One of the two probably happened. Fire hat, by the way. Thanks. So I traded it for a Bali song that was with my buddy Andy. So it's in Andy's possession. I can't actually say anything about it yet. Previous owner thought literally, previous owner, though literally only touched it with black gloves. Very cool. So it is as mint as a Bali can get, basically. Excellent. I'm excited for you to get your hands on it. Let's see. Both are awesome, but the Kraken is my favorite. Also, when you do a sound test, it will still ring like 5 seconds. So good. Or it's so good. Nice. Nice. That's what I love about the squid trainer, is the fact that that thing's ring just goes on forever. That's another Bali that, that's one thing that we can kind of go over real quick is the Balis that I had gotten from Ethan. I haven't really spent any time thinking back on those and asking myself, which ones, I kind of talked about which ones do I think I'm going to miss. But now that they're gone, I haven't talked about which ones do I miss. What's going on, Kyle? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekend. Happy Saturday to you, my friend. Of the Balis that Ethan had sent, let's go through in order. We had the Glider Arctic, which was a ridiculously fun, like probably one of the funnest Balis I've ever flipped. That I can admit that is one that I do miss, and that is one that I am going to look for an opportunity to get back in my collection because that thing is just super fun. Okay, so there was that. There was the Vault Pro. I don't miss it. Nothing against it. There isn't a hole that particular Bali would fill. So I have no missing of, no need to miss it. I had the spider knife. I have searched since sending it back. I have searched online trying to find where I can get another one because I want to add one to my collection, but haven't been able to find one yet. That's easy for me to get. I mean, I don't want to go through like, some crazy weird, dark web website to get my hands on the spider knife, but eventually I'm going to be able to get my hands on a spider knife. I'm sure of it. Then there was, let me see, I got to pull up my list. There was the squid trainer. I miss it. I need a squid trainer in my collection. Let's see, what else did we have? So we had Glider Arctic, we had Nabalis Vault Pro, BB Barfly Barracuda V2. I would say that I missed that, but still isn't anything that I'm like itching to have back in my collection. The Kraken Trainer, I miss simply because with these being live blades, I have to be very conscious of where I take these, and I can't take these to work, for example, because they're considered weapons. So I definitely want a Kraken Trainer. with the zippy weight insert. So that's something that I miss. Bandage knives stitch V2. I am satisfied with my bandage knives stitch V1. So very obviously that one was missed enough that upon having an opportunity to get a suitable replacement, I did just that. And then the squid trainer we already discussed. So I think that was it. I want to buy the Mystic Spider Knife. Will sell my soul on the Bali market. Ooh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Even though I wouldn't do it for any serious expectations of landing a sale, I may create a post and put it on the Bali market for want to buy spider knife and see what happens. That would be hilarious. I think I'll do that. I will. I'll do that after stream today. You should make a stream about finding the spider knife. I don't know that I could hold an entire stream on finding the spider knife, unless you mean like an entire stream dedicated to like me bringing up a web browser and searching for one. But I don't think that that would be a good use of stream, just simply because I've already done that and I haven't been able to find it. Want to buy them? Oh yeah, already said that. You're just going to get so many question mark replies to your story. That's fine. I'm doing it for the lulz at that point. Like I said, I don't expect anybody to come back saying, "Yay, I have a spider knife. I'll trade you for your Mako or something like that." But that would be hilarious. Yeah. So, and then, obviously I had Ted's Zyzix, which at that time, I had noted it was already it was my Grail battle song. Ted having sent it to me was literally a bucket list event in my life. And, me having my hands on a Zyzix again just reinforces the fact that, Paul's gift of building balisongs is ridiculous. Like I literally have no complaint whatsoever about this Bali. I do have one question about the Bali, and I'm fearful of asking it because I'm afraid that the answer would be no, and then I would have one complaint about the Bali. And that is, and maybe you guys can tell me. Tevko says, sup, Unc, sorry I'm late. Didn't know you were live. No problem, Tevko. Welcome, welcome. Scott, I feel like you want a Sakura Kraken trainer. Man, if I could get a Sakura Kraken trainer. I just saw somebody post a clip on their Sakura Kraken, and it was, that Bali is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so Tevko, you didn't really miss, you missed everything, but everything consisted of, a little bit of catch up, a little bit of chatting. I did just get done running through the Balis that Ethan had sent me, kind of giving a recap of, now that I'm a little bit away from having had them, on my person, which ones do I still miss? Which ones do I wish that that I had in my collection? And basically, of those, the Glider Arctic I miss and I want to have again. The Squid Trainer I miss and I want to have again. The Stitch V2 I missed and now have a Stitch V1. And I really want a Kraken Trainer. You didn't miss much. Oh wait, never mind, you missed everything. Yeah, that basically. What's the question? You can't just do that. Wait. Oh, okay. Thankfully, I remembered what the question was because I was confused for a moment. So the question is, and Ted, you can probably speak to this with your experience in all things Bali, but with the Zyzix being titanium, theoretically, I mean, there's nothing, though I've never seen it done, there's nothing, is there anything keeping someone from anodizing a Zizix? That's my question. If you had to pick one ballad to keep from the stuff that you got sent to mess around with, what would it be? Specifically the stuff that Ethan sent me to play around with, or of all of the ballets that I have been sent to play around with thus far, which one would I keep? I just want to make sure I answer your question correctly. Every single one. Ooh, okay. So let's make sure I can think of what every single one consists of. We got the Stitch V2, Squid Trainer, Kraken Trainer, Glider Arctic, Barracuda, one, two, three, four, five. There was another one. Vulp Pro, Spider Knife, Ted's, Zizix, Shrooms Cat, Lance's Seraph / Opus, Gibby's Zizix, and Ted's Zizix Trainer. I think that's everything. And oh my gosh, when you list it out like this, it's ridiculous how many ballad songs I have been sent to play around with when I can't flip my way out of a wet paper bag. This community is so awesome. Okay, so Tevko says every single one. Cool, I've got my list. We'll go through it. What happened to your cheese? Oh, my cheese has been handed over to one of my coworkers to play around with for as long as he wants. So I still have my cheese. I just haven't had it in a long time because I have it on loan to someone who was interested in the hobby. And then Shroom says, okay, but you did keep the cat. Well, I mean, don't say it like that. You did give me the cat, to which I kept. But that was one that was sent to me. But true. So let's see. Stitch V2, Squid Trainer, Kraken Trainer, Glider Arctic, BB Barfly. Okay, so I can say unequivocally, it would be one of the Zizixes. And of the Zizixes, man, I don't know, because there are benefits to Ted's and benefits to Gibby's. So I'm not 100% sure, but it would be a Zizix. I think anybody would have guessed that, or could have probably guessed that. But the Zizix for me, it flips so perfectly to the way that I handle a ballad song. The balance is perfect. The weight is perfect. It sounds amazing. There's nothing that I don't love about this ballet. I haven't even seen the Zizix trainer. There you go. It's an aluminum trainer. Well, aluminum handles versus titanium handles. But despite the fact that it's aluminum, it still has a very unique, distinct sound that that Paul was able to eke out of this thing. It's a really sick Bali. Yeah. So, and this is a relatively newer release, I think, if I recall correctly. I want to say within the last month or so. But yep, so that's the Zyzix trainer. But yeah, I would say definitely either Ted's Zyzix or Gibby's Zyzix. And the only reason that I don't know which one it would be is because I think Ted's Zyzix had blackened handles, and I can almost guarantee that the blackened handles would make it so that titanium or no, probably not able to anodize that. Whereas Gibby's having the natural metal look to it, at least gives me the impression that the oh, is that what? Okay, it's called the Zixus, I think. I don't know, since that's Zyzix backwards. Okay, that's funny. So okay, cool. Can you strip, or you can strip the coating off? Oh, so okay. Then in that case, I would take Ted's because Ted's is more pristine. Um, but and I would probably anno it pink. I want a pink anode Zyzix. If I couldn't do that, that would be my only complaint about the Zyzix, is if I could not anno it. Because I think a pink, like a hot pink Zyzix would be sick, especially with the way that this just naturally jives with me. I think then making it pink, it would just be perfect. Here, blackening, you have to blast off, and it's very tough. It's one of the strongest finishes. Yeah, see that, and that's what I figured, and that's why yeah. So I can't believe Gibby has a beater Zyzix. I mean, the funny thing is, I mean, I handed it to my son, and after I had dropped it, and my son cringed, and I'm like, listen, this is the purpose of this Bali, and I kind of explained Gibby's lore of, you know, treating it like a knife as opposed to treating it like a showpiece, and I said, but despite that, despite the fact that this has been literally spiked into concrete, thrown thrown off a second-story balcony, dumped in stew and all sorts of things. Regardless, I'm going to head out. Bye, everyone. Bye, Matthew. Have a great rest of the weekend. Yeah, but despite the fact that this has been beaten like all get out, looking at it, I mean, it doesn't look like it's been beaten. I mean, you can see some scuffs and stuff, but if you didn't know, you would think that most of those scuffs were just, you know, natural wear and tear. On the blade, you can see a lot of those almost serrated notches out of the blade. But even then, I mean, based on how this thing was described to me, on how it got treated, I mean, this thing is in amazing condition and flips like a dream. So, I mean, that right there is a testament to the quality of, you know, the work that Paul puts out. Absolutely amazing. Does he just hate money? Yeah, he got it for free. He won it at the Acid Bowl last year at Blade Show. I witnessed Gibby Spike and EPS Wraith tip first into concrete at a park meetup. Man. What's going on, LeBreton? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekend. How are we doing, my friend? How is your new Bali treating you? I mean, you are flipping it like you stole it. And like you stole it a long time ago and have had plenty of an opportunity to get used to it. The first scratch is always the hardest, LOL. I would imagine the first scratch on $1,000 Bali would be pretty rough. Every scratch that I've had thus far on my Balis have caused me to smile. It is a weight off of the shoulders, but it's not like I don't have that momentary, sadness for losing the pristine quality of the Bali before the Bali even hits the ground. As soon as it leaves my hand and my brain acknowledges Unc's not saving that, I'm smiling from ear to ear. I love dropping my Balis. I don't intentionally destroy them or damage them, but I thoroughly love when my Balis drop because it adds character. That's why you intentionally scratch it before unintentionally scratching it. Well, what I did do to that point 3 is when I handed off my cheese to my coworker to play around with, before I handed it to him, I pulled out another one of my Balis and I used the blade to scratch an X in the handle of the cheese just to indicate to him, listen, you're not going to damage this thing. It's okay. Flip it, drop it, have fun with it. What's going on, Shticky? Welcome to the show. And Matthew says, I'm back on this account. Welcome back, Matthew. And LeBreton says, the new Bali is peak and absolute fire. I'm so glad for you. How is your choker fans and ladders looking? Depending, it all depends on what I'm flipping. The ladders are not improving nearly as much as I would like, but my finger strength is getting there, which is nice. And because my finger strength is there, I feel like I'm being not there. Getting there. I feel like I'm able to speed up the rotation a little bit, which hopefully will start smoothing out once I can get that timing worked out. Choker fans, I mean, I have started very, very, very early stages of trying to work out the choker fan. Right now, my focus is, no, I don't want to say my focus is. I have the Z choker down. I am just starting to work on the choker fan. So that is slow going for sure, but I'm okay with slow going. Oh, I'm on top chat. I just realized. I think it would help if you add momentum to your ladder practice, throwing it from open to the ladder position. Okay. I will give that a shot. Bro, how are you learning the Z choker faster than the choker? It's 10 times harder. I don't know. That's the one that I started learning, was that. Because I wanted to do the Z choker to ice pick, which I still can't do consistently, but I can do the Z choker, so that's something. Want me to send you a choker fan slow-mo? Matthew, that would be much appreciated. Yes, that would be great. Thank you so much. And 3 says Z choker is infinitely easier. Shroom agrees. Well, regardless, Z choker might be harder for Tevco than the regular choker was. Everybody flips different, and that's fine. So let's see. I should probably flip some other stuff too. I found chokers easier when I started, so honestly, I don't know which one's harder. That's a false Z choker. Wait, what? What I did? False Z choker is easier. Oh, what's a false Z choker? I'm curious what a false Z choker is too. Oh no, I don't have anything to drink and I'm about to start coughing because my throat is so dry. So I'm going to throw back up what would be my be right back sign, but instead is just a black screen. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go fill up my cup. So give me a moment. All right, I am back. Sorry about that. All right, let's see. Because Z choker, it carries the momentum all by itself, whereas with the choker fan, you have to keep that twist going with your fingers, which makes sense. Choker fan isn't a hard trick to do. It's a hard trick for beginners to understand. And I can understand it. It's just my fingers aren't used to doing what they need to do yet. I think I even have a pretty solid feel on the timing of things. My fingers are just getting tripped up over themselves. I wish my hand wasn't asleep right now so I could flip properly. Same with the swivel and this new tech stuff. They're super easy tricks, but they're funky to understand. Agreed. Simply because, like, I spent, I don't know, like a 15-minute period of time watching tutorials on the swivel and got the swivel down and promptly never did the swivel again. Not really hard to do. Most of it is just kind of controlling what gravity is doing with the Bali and where the Bali is falling. It's a lot of fingertip stuff, but not hard to do, just really hard to wrap your head around if you don't have it broken down into steps that work for you. I sent you a video that if you slowed might show the difference between what's going on with the Z choker versus choker on Instagram. Thank you, Shroom. I appreciate it. I need to get out today with a couple of my Balis and see if I can get some more clips, because I have a couple things that I'm working on or will be working on, and none of them can be done if I don't actually get out there in the wild and get some flipping done. So hopefully today I will spend a fair amount of time outside, either with a tripod or with one of my kids in tow if they want to hang out with me while I flip a ballad song. And hopefully tonight we'll have a couple more things, a couple more I don't know, shorts or edits or whatever you want. I want to flip, but it's cold. Yeah, that's my one that's my one concern, is it's not an exceptionally warm day today. And I'm fearful that my hands are going to end up getting cold. But I want to try it anyways, because I'm in a location flipping mood. I gotta get the wood stove going. I want summer already. I want spring. Flip through the cold. Most of my outside posts, I'm flipping below freezing. Jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm older and my body doesn't want to do what my body wants to do as easily as it is for you guys, but yeah, my fingers are not as functional. Um, when it's cold or just in general. My finger, I trip over myself all the time. I need to work on an edit for I'm at 3 years this month. Sick, Tony. That's awesome. Congratulations. 3 years flipping this month. I actually, I'm starting to, because I think I'm at about 9 months now. I'm getting close enough that I need to actually pull up a calendar and figure out when my 1 year is, so that I can, kind of do something of a, uh, 1 year update or something. Utah is great. Oh no, it sucks. But I don't have any other opportunities to film even. Wait, what? Utah is great. Oh no, it sucks. But I didn't have other opportunities to film. Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Um, yeah, I mean, flip where you can, how you can. If you got to do it in sub-freezing temperatures, I mean, do it, but I'm sorry. Ugh, that was horrible. I might do a 2-year flipping post in a few months when it hits. Nice. Nice. I like seeing people's progress updates. It's fun. I like seeing where other people are at. I was just talking to somebody, it might have been even earlier this morning, and they had asked me how I thought their progress was going, and they had just posted a clip of them working on the chatter and doing pretty well with it from my perspective. And they're like, yeah, how do you think I'm progressing after a month and a half? And I'm like, you got me beat after a month and a half, and I've been doing it for 9 months. So good on you. But everybody's different. Everybody progresses at a different rate. Everybody finds different tricks easy, different tricks difficult. Everybody prefers one weight balance to another, one maker to another, one blade shape to another. That's one of the great things about this hobby is, everybody can be different and we're all still loving the same thing. Yeah. There is beauty in the differences. I mean, think about it like a painting, and those differences are the colors. If there are no differences, you got a white canvas or a black canvas or a green canvas. You got nothing in it though. Whereas if you take advantage of all those differences, of all those different colors, and you put it together in just such a way, you have a masterpiece. And to me, that is what the Bali Unc community is. That's what my big edit is going to do, is showcase my improvement. Excellent, Shroom. I'm excited. I'm excited to see your big edit. Really am. Crescent is one that I'm going to end up having to flip today. But I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it yet. I like flipping this. I figured I was going to have problems with the square handles, but I very much do not. I very much enjoy the handles, the balance. This is just a solid Bali Unc. Love it. Let's see. What haven't I flipped? I don't really want to flip my collection. I want to flip the new stuff. I'll flip the Serif blade on Opus V2 handles. This thing is not, for me, it's not the easiest thing to flip, but that's just because I have to think more about it. It's not quite that I'm fighting the Bali, but I am having to lovingly convince it to do what I want it to do. Unc, I gotta go. Bye. Bye, Shroom. Me saying, if you don't want it, I'll take it. I bet. If it's afternoon for you guys, yeah, it's 10:30 for me. I don't know what I'm grabbing for lunch. Something good. Yeah, I enjoy this. It's just it doesn't flip naturally for me, as naturally as others, but it's definitely like you can feel the premium quality of everything about it. Like I keep having to check it to see if it's got something on it because the handles feel like there's something sticky on the handles, and it's literally just the micro milling that is done on this to add just this ridiculous sort of texture and grippiness that I can't describe any way other than it feels like something sticky is on it, even though it's not. Is that the Serif? Or that's the Serif? This is the Serif blade on Opus V2 handles, is what this is. And this was when I was in Arizona earlier in the week, visiting Penchetta and getting to meet and hang out with Lance for a little bit. Lance sent me back home with this as a pass-around Bali for me to play around with for a couple of weeks, which I was exceptionally grateful for, because who doesn't want to be able to flip something from Machine-Wise if they have the opportunity to? Absolutely sick Bali. It just, for me, this isn't one of those Balis that I can just pick up and just go ham on. This is one that I have to be very, very thoughtful, very intentional about what I'm doing because it doesn't meet my natural preferences. But it doesn't mean it can't be flipped. And then my bandage knife, Stitch V1, which I think after blade, I'm going to figure out who to send this to have it anode pink. And I'm thinking pink with these green spacers and inserts would give it a nice watermelon vibe. Perfect summertime Bali, I would say. And then the Zizix trainer, or however you're supposed to say it. I'm just going to keep saying Zizix trainer because I don't know how you pronounce the Zizix backwards. Zixai, or I don't know. But this thing is such a quality aluminum Bali, and it sounds really good. It's got a, I don't know, I can't think of how to describe it. Because it's not, I don't know, glassy, but maybe, no, it's not. It's nice. It sounds nice. That's all I can say. I pronounce it Zyzus. What, the trainer version? Or do you just pronounce all of them Zyzus? Obsessed with watermelon themed stuff for no reason. No, not really. I just, pink goes well with, I mean, pink is part of the, for me, the watermelon color. And if green is there too, then my brain just says, oh, that's watermelon. The trainer version, okay. Zysis. All right, and then the Zyzix. Absolutely adore everything about this. Oops, this Bali. Hey, Unc, what a blessing to hang and flip with others. Agreed. And I have recently learned that there is another that I am familiar with and have been familiar with in the community, another content creator that is actually semi-local to me. And I'm going to, one of these coming weekends, make my way out and have another Bali meetup in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So yeah, it is really cool to be able to hang out with other flippers. Had never thought that when I finally had the opportunity to, never thought that it was going to be, you know, just a drive away for me. I figured it was going to be at Blade Show, that once a year I was going to be able to flip with other flippers. So the fact that I was able to have a very personalized, very small micro meetup, you know, yeah, it was a blessing. I can't describe it any better than that. You nailed it. Oops. That Band-Aid is starting to get in the way. Was it super dimensional while watching? Wait, what? Oh, that is a way to put it. Honestly, and the funny thing is, I even told Vav, I was expecting that my mind was going to be blown by seeing flipping like with my own eyes instead of watching it through a video. And I didn't have that reaction. It was very much like I was watching. I mean, my emotional response to it was very much the same as my response to watching peak flipping in a video. What was the experience for me was the fact that, you know, I got to watch the process. I got to watch the drops. I got to watch, you know, the clips that landed, or the attempts that landed, but weren't as smooth as you know, desired. Being able to watch that process by seasoned flippers made me feel a whole lot more, I don't know, like what I'm doing isn't so different from what everybody else is doing. Yeah, so watching the flipping wasn't super dimensional. The experience itself was yeah, super dimensional. Would be a fair way of putting it. I mean, again, I went into it knowing that I was going to be meeting Vav and hanging out with Vav, which I was really excited about. Did not in any way, shape, or form know that Maddie was going to be there. And as soon as I did, I quite literally went nuts. Like I couldn't process things. Yeah, I was awestruck. Click Flip says, "How are you doing?" I'm doing good. How are you? How is the weekend starting out for you so far? Welcome to the show and welcome to the weekend. Oof. What animal is in the tank? In the tank is my boa constrictor. She is a sunglow boa, so she is both albino and hypomelanistic, I think, which is a version of albinism. So basically, she is a double albino, which makes her all yellow with markings of orange. Super pretty snake. I have had her out on stream before, and I am not opposed to having her out on stream again. At some point here, she's. It's just I can't flip so well when I have her out. Because it sometimes takes her 30 minutes or so to figure out where she wants to settle down, whether that be wrapped around my arm, head on my shoulder, whatever the case may be. So usually when I have her out, it is going to be more of a talky stream versus a flippy stream. Ugh. All right. So, all right. I think we are almost at the hour-and-a-half mark. We have flipped through some stuff. I have shared some opinions. We have talked through how Unc tries to deal with anger, which is when a situation happens that leaves me with that initial feeling of anger, I stop and I ask myself, why? Why am I feeling angry about this? In the case of yesterday, when I was going to the grocery store to gift a kid there with a free Balisong, 3D printed trainer, totally safe. And security had told me that I had to leave the premises. Initially, my gut feel was anger and disappointment, but as I thought more about it, it was more disappointment. The kid did the right thing because you don't meet strangers outside to get free stuff. The security guard did the right thing because his job is to make sure everybody is safe, and he was making sure that kid was protected, which is good. Only one who was out anything is essentially me, and I was out the opportunity, the selfish interest of making this kid's day and seeing his excitement. I mean, it was, that's why I was disappointed. I was disappointed. I was borderline angry because I missed the opportunity for me to have done something nice for somebody. But that kind of makes it about me, and it wasn't about me. It was about him. And in that circumstance, the most important thing was him feeling like he was safe, their security feeling like he was safe. So next time I know, if I'm going to gift somebody a Balisong, have the Balisong on my person. Don't go back to a store later and then very vaguely indicate to somebody, hey, I have something for you outside, and then promptly wait outside for security to tell you, what are you doing? You got to go. Yeah, that was basically everything we covered, and then we did kind of a scan through a rehashing of all of the ballets that people have sent me to play around with thus far, and of all of those ballets, which ones do I wish that I could keep in my collection, and which one is my number one top? If I could only keep one, which would it be? Which I believe ended up being the Zyzix, and I'm staying pretty vague on which Zyzix because yeah, they're both, I mean, epic. Both Teds and Gibbies are absolutely amazing. Anyway, so we are wrapping up. We got 10 people in chat. Not much going on in chat, which is totally fine. That means we have a bunch of lurkers. Everybody knows I love my lurkers. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for tuning in, hearing what I have to say, participating where you do. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. Even if you don't get anything out of this, you're supporting me, and I really do appreciate that. But we've gone on, I think, long enough. We've hit an hour and a half. We've covered some stuff. We've done some flipping. We've asked some questions and gotten some answers. So hopefully everybody out there has a wonderful rest of the day. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the weekend and that you start next week out on the right foot. For the time being, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love you.